Hello guys. Hello. Hello. I play Roblox but I leave because bad updates. Hello, sorry, I'm still figuring out how to stream in YouTube. Hello, Athena. What specific game are you playing or referring to for the bad updates? Or is it the Roblox platform? How can I see the Yeah, yeah, I do notice you. Can you hear me or not? Okay, that's great. Alright, let me test this out. Yeah, sure. I'm not trying to be rude. What game are you playing, Athena? Repeto? I've never played that game before. Ah, is it like the outfit ideas? Or you experiment with different outfits? Requested module. Why? Requested module experience. Expected default type, update type name. Expected default type, update type name. Set the dispatchers. Okay. Attempt to concatenate string with nil. Attempt to concatenate string with nil. Task. Task item. Task. Okay. Let's check to do. We have to do. To do props. Producer get state. Okay.
Battery 95%.
Okay, let me read the selectors. Using selectors, games often have complex interactions between different parts of the states. Producer let you subscribe to state changes with selectors. Selectors are functions that take to the root state and return a subset of it. They can be as simple as indexing a property or as complex as filtering and transforming data. We'll go over some example of selectors and different ways to use them. Let's say we had this calendar slice in our root state and wanted to print out all the events in the calendar. So we made the producer to add an event. With selectors, we can write a function that returns the events from the calendar and use it to get the events from the root state. So select events, state producer dot root state, and we'll return the specific events. So once we use the get state, we pass the select events. Or if you want to run code with the when the selector value changes, you can use subscribe. Yeah. While creating objects in selectors. In previous example, the select events selector is simple and returns the events property of the calendar slice. But what if you want to get the events sorted by date? So you'll create a new array. And by returning a new value, it isn't equal to the last one. You're telling Reflux that the value changed. Discuss when you try. Okay. So you'll use memorization, recipes, passing arguments to the selector, some equality checks. I just want to use selectors first for now. Let's create a new folder under the game. Let me remove that. Selectors. And then task selectors. Selectors. Task selectors that wow. Okay. Root producers. Using selectors. Recipes summary. Subscribing to state, observers, and entities. Row up. Are there any great selectors? I think I have a code here. Globals, world, shared, set up. Ah, okay. It's inside the pull request. producers. Okay, should be the root. Root producer. Starter player script client. Okay. And then local selectors. Selectors index function selectors that get task list command. We need self for that. We need state. State which is the producer, root producer, that root state, and will return an object of types task types. For and root, just return state that task, and then return selectors. Selector, is it select task selectors that get task list. Okay. Hopefully this works. Okay. Attempt to concatenate string with nil. Why don't attempt to concatenate string with nil? Stock begin 9139 stock end. Save this client. My console. Task list 29. Okay. Attempt to concatenate. Did it say concatenate string with nil? Okay. It's because the task list is empty. That's why. Task list. So the get task list. In our task producer, our initial state is empty empty state or empty task, empty object. So shouldn't this task selectors get state root producer task ID? Were we able to set the task? Okay. Root producer that get state task selectors that get task list. Get state it's a method. Task selectors. Okay, let's try to print it first. We did not. Okay. Okay. Let's try to check if task that ID if not task or task that ID is equals new, then continue. Okay. I think we need to subscribe in order for the state to change. Subscribing to state. Okay, let's hit this first. So in the previous examples, the select event selector is simple and returns the event property of the calendar slice. But what if you want to get the event sorted by date? Your thought might be to write a selector like this. So this creates a new array every time the selector is called. Table that sort, and then you will return the new table events. But there's a catch. Every time you call select events by time, it will create a new array. And by returning new value that isn't equal to the last one, you're telling Reflex that the value changed, even if it has the same contents. This can cause problems when you try to subscribe to selectors. We added a to-do item, which is in an unrelated part. But it still thinks that our sorted event changed. As forming state, right now our select events by time, memorization, recipes, passing arguments to selectors. Often you may want to pass arguments to a selector. For example, you may want to select a specific calendar event by its name. There are two main ways to do this. Selector factories that return a selector function for a given set of arguments. Arraying argument by adding them to the dependencies arrays. Okay. There are pros and cons, but we'll only cover selector factories because they're more ergonomic. Let's create the selector factories. Custom equality checks. Shallow equal. I will skip that for now. When using selectors, we learned how to use selectors to read and subscribe to state from the store. Shiflex provides a few more useful ways to subscribe to state changes with selectors. Facing side effects. Observing individual players. Okay. Say your state had a player slice that's stored. Okay, so we have player actions to add player, set player health. And then we have entities, which has a string with player entity. Oh, okay, wait. So I need player entity, player slice, conditional side effects. You can use subscribe to run side effects when a selector value changes. In this example, subscribe to the health of player 1 and play a sound when their health decreases. So producer subscribe. So I think we need to run this every time there's a new task. Open a new Roblox. Let's put it to number 4. Open compile. Space spider. Okay, it opened a new. It's the 4. Producers, game, selectors, menu, globals, game, loader, UI, component, app. React reflex. Here's a React reflex. charm, react reflex. React hooks and components for reflex. Reflex is a simple state manager. A Wally. Mounting your app. Wait, this is TypeScript. Do I need to use TypeScript for this? React reflex. Binding for React and React hook that allows you to hook. To use hooks to read and dispatch actions or reflex producer from a component. The official binding for reflex and React hook are available on Link. Currently, there is no support for Lua project. React reflex. Okay. So how did they use that? React reflex. Route name. Use selectors. Selectors select current route. Producer state. Current route. Okay. You just need to use the create element instead of the JSX. So with this, React reflex allows you to use your root producer from React function components. It exposes a component that you can use to specify the producer for hooks to use. Reflex provider. Enable reflex hooks for a producer. And then providers equals providers. Producers. Setting up React reflex. Using other providers with reflex provider. Hooks. You can use hooks to read and subscribe to a state or to dispatch actions. Use these hooks in function components that are wrapped in a reflex provider. Context hooks. Use these hooks to access the root provider producer and dispatch action. Use producer lets component read and dispatch action to root producer. preceded by use producer. I would assume these are the actions. State hooks. Use these hooks to read and subscribe to state. Use selector lets a component subscribe to a reflex producer. Use selector creator lets you call use selector with a selector factory. Setting up react reflex. To use react reflex, you must first pass your root producer to the reflex provider component. By doing this, you enable reflex hooks for your react app. You can render reflex provider component anywhere in your app, but it must be rendered above any component that use the hooks. We recommend putting it at the top level of your app. Wrapping your root components. Okay. So let's try that. React reflex version. Installation. Yarn Wally. 0.3.6. React here. Core packages, JS dot. React globals shared. Unknown dude. Globals. Okay, I guess it's not available. Okay, React, reflex. No, reflex. React reflex. React reflex. Just here, React reflex. GitHub. Let's use this instead. So we need 4.3.1. Use selector. Use selector. memo cards. Wait, is there a merge? What's merge? Sift dictionary merge. Oh, okay. Sift. Immutable data library for Lua. Big dictionary library for Lua. Sift. I guess Sift is the most popular one. I didn't know you can use merge. Okay. Let's try running this first. So Wally, we need React Apex. And then I guess I'll add Sift. Okay. Okay, let's use set. to be a problem again. I'm not sure why, but we should be fine. Let's delete this. Reconnect. Okay. I need to restart the server. Okay, and then connect. And we have zip and react reflex. Okay. Okay. For the time being, releases will remain at 0x shift, and shift should not be considered 100% stable. This is in line with specification. Breaking changes may occur when minor version is incremented. Get an element at a specific index. Negative indices are supported. Difference return, freeze deep is check if the past value is an array. Entries count difference symmetric. Wait, where's the merge? I thought there's a merge. Is there no merge? Merge. Map. Difference every find flatten. Reverse shuffle. Zip update. Merge. There is a merge. Merge. Dictionary.merge inside the dictionary. Okay. Okay. Dictionary enemies. Create selector subscribing. So I think I need. Okay, first I need to change my code, but let's delete the source map first, and then let's regenerate the new source map. Yes, nice. And then here in our app.lua, we have a frame. Wait, no, we need the mount. Render up. Rock reflex. Producer. So you have a screen UI, but how would you actually yeah, I'm making a game. Okay. Wow, thank you for the heart. Um, using producer. that mount. So I need actually create a reflex producer. Producer is root provider. Between screen GUI, content, browse content, name, require page. Where's the root provider used for then? Root provider require. Okay. So you have a root provider and then the app itself. Since you can do this. Okay. Instead of app, we'll use react reflex that reflex provider. Is it reflex? Yeah, reflex provider. And then in our we'll have producer equals root producer. And inside that we'll have the app itself. Okay. Hopefully this would work. Let's try it. Okay, there's an error. It reflects expected default type after name. Okay, I think that's because of here. I'm not sure why. Any. Let's try that again. Still the same. Reflex expected. Wait. I have already changed that. Packages index react reflex. React reflex. What do you mean? Index. Is the react reflex duplicate? React reflex 0.3 reflex. Let's remove the types for now. React reflex. I was so confused what profile picture I will put in my profile in Pinterest. That's why it takes so long to watch here. Okay. Oh, it works. Okay. I'm not sure why YouTube's showing me like a heads up. Yeah, I'll just ignore it for now. Dispatching action. The use producer hook lets you access the producer and dispatch action to the root producer. You can use this hook to dispatch actions from any component that is wrapped in Reflex Provider. Say our root producer has to-do slice that contains actions to add a to-do. We can use producer hook to dispatch add to-do action from a component. Use producer, root producer, and then producer that add to-do. Use producer. React Reflex. This looks like they didn't use any use producer. They only use selector. Really? Okay. React Reflex. Use selector, use selector, use selector. Yeah. Looks like they're using React Reflex for reading, not when updating the state. Okay. Type use producer hook. Subscribing to state. Use selector on the next page. Similar to subscribe method, this use selector hook lets you select a value from the producer state. Subscribing to state. We just need to use root producer. Okay, let's read this. Subscribing to state lets you, let's say we had the same to-do slice from the previous guide. If you want to select the to-do list from the state in your component, you might try to subscribe to the producer and update the component state whenever the to-do list changes. Yep. Now you have the to-do list in your component state, but you have to update it manually whenever the to-do list changes. This is where the use selector hooks come in. The use selector hook automatically subscribe to the producer you passed to the Reflex Provider and updates the component whenever the selected value changes. Same rule applies to the use selector hook as the subscribe method. If you pass a selector that creates a new object, okay. Passing arguments to selectors. Often you'll want to select a value. Okay, let's try to implement it first. So with that, ask selectors. In our to-do app, we have set the task. Now, let's local tasks equals to use selector react reflex that use selector, and then we'll do task selectors that get list. Okay, and then here in our task list, we'll still have the we will still have the props. So export type task list props, task types, and what's happening? Okay, types. Oh, okay. No, we don't need n. Now, here we have props, task list props, and then we'll use that instead of manually getting the value. Use props task. Yeah. Task selectors. No need those. In the to-do, we'll pass the props of task. Scrolling frame, we'll pass the task is equals to task. Tasks. Double S. There's an S. Okay. Let's try this. Okay. It took a while to load. Task. Okay, I'm not sure why there's no task. Is there no task? Use producer. Add to do. Let's try to use this one since we're already using react reflex. So instead of doing this, we'll have local producer is equals to react reflex that use producer. Which is a root producer. And how can I do this? Root producer that you can set the type. Use producer from root producer. Do type check. Where string? Can I use that then? React reflex that. Oh, no. We'll do this. React reflex that. Use producer. Oh, okay. And then we'll do this. Root producer that. Root producer. Variable. Okay, we'll try that. In here, instead of doing this, we'll do producer. Is it really method? This producer, root producer. No, it's not that. No. Root producer. Can I just do this? No. Unknown type root producer. It's the introductions. Why is it a function? Use producer. Is it okay if I do this? Producer. Okay. Take the type checking. It's not working. Producer. That. Oh, okay. We'll do this. That set task, then the task list. Let's print the task list. Full string task list, since this is a dictionary, just to make sure that we're getting something. Attempt to call a table value. Table. Clean to do 25. Attempt to call a table value. Set task. Okay. Should I not do this? It worked. No, it did not. Table. Class list string. I can't do this then. Let's do for class by pairs. Print class. No, I need to do that. Okay, we have something. ID is complete false. Okay, meaning we're getting something. I'm not sure why the value in UI is not reflected. Use producer is a reflex hook that lets you use the producer you pass. Use producer hook, root producer. Is it supposed to be action only? Or should I do this instead? It's still the same. Producer dot set task. But this won't work since this is not a method. Yeah. Attempt to call a table value. This is a table. So should I do this? Root producer dot root producer. Nice, it worked. Did the task change? No, it did not. Why? Um, okay, I'll just ask ChatGPT. Try to ask ChatGPT for this. I'm using, yeah. the code you've shown, I don't think the problem is in the task list. The rendering logic looks mostly fine. Is task actually populated at right before E frame if you get check your selector. Actually, let's try here. After setting the task, let's print the task. Task. 228. It did change. Ah, no, it did not. Tasks. Task doesn't have any value. So, why? Let's try to use the root producer that set and then the task list. Root producer get state. We'll do function state that task. Okay, state that task. Or actually, why didn't I just use the existing selector? State that task. It worked. Okay. $25. This one didn't work. Wait, why? Is it because it doesn't know what producer to use? But we have already defined that in the root producer that combine producer. 25. So it means that the root producer that set task works. I think it's the use selector. Can we put that here then? Hopefully. Um, okay, thank you, Athena. Oh, it worked. Nice. Hello, world. Nice, it worked. Finally. Okay. Since we have that now, let's try to figure out the SIF library, since currently I'm building the dictionary of all the children element, when I can just do merge here like this one. Merge dictionary dot merge. Okay, so cards. They used use memo. Heart count. Create with the initial value of heart count, and then for heart count do. Okay. Okay. For this, I think I'll use the same. I'll do the same. Local task elements is equals to react that use memo. Then we'll provide a function. And then local elements is equals to, do we need table that create? Do we need table that create? Table that create hard count. When you use table that create, table. When you use table that create dictionaries. Wait, where's the table? Table that create the count of the. Oh, okay. Okay, I don't think I need that. We'll just use that, and then for task do. And then we'll return the element. And here we'll run it every time the set task changes. We don't need this one. And then in here, instead of doing this, that ugly thing, we'll do this instead. div that dictionary that merge, and then we'll use the task elements. Nice. Hopefully it works. No, it did not. Nice. Fix me, create text instance. Do I need to do this? No. Merge. Oh, okay. Inside. I guess. Instead of this, we'll do that. And this. Right? And we're going to pick the name and that. Nice, it worked. We have the task. Okay. Next box removes the value of our focus. Remove clear on focus, pause. Clear text on focus. Clear text on focus. Nice, okay. Now what we want to do is once we click the add button, we'll be able to add a new task. Okay. I think we'll do that in the server. Should I do that in the server? So we'll add task and then file server description, add task. signal. Lightning signal. Lightning signal. A collection of utility modules for Roblox. Buffer utilities, COM library for remote communication, component class, concurrent task, enum list class, utility function.